Hello guys, this is Chirodip once again and you're watching Core Java tutorial. This is the third part of my series Core Java tutorial. So today we're gonna learn few technique and policies about methods used in Java. So we're gonna run Eclipse IDE as we have seen it in the previous tutorial. Now let's see the class. Now here I have defined one class named as A, and I have defined one static method. So you will be getting to know more detailed manner about static and non-static later in the series. So for now, just remember this is a type of method that is a static, and its access type is public. That is, it can be accessed from anywhere in the class, from any package, and it can be accessed from anywhere. So the method here is static and its return type is void. So the method name is test. Now we are printing the test, that is a string, from the method test itself, and we are calling this test method from main function here, and we are printing the main, that is a string from the main function. So it's very easy. Now we're gonna see that test is first getting printed as we are calling test method from main function, and test is getting printed, and after that main is getting printed. Now move to the next program. Here in the class C we have defined one test1 method, that is a return type is void and static, and we are printing test1 from the test1 method, and from main we are calling test1 method. After that we are printing from main, that is a string from the main function, and we are calling test2 method, that is also similar to the test1 method, and test2 will be printing. So it's also very easy. Let's check it out. You can see that test1 and from main and test2. Test1 will be printed first as test1 is called from the main method, and from main will be printed second, and after that sorry, and after that test2 will be printed. So moving to the next program, that is B. So here we have defined one class named D. As you can see that in the main method we have defined one integer variable I, and it's getting initialized by 1, and we are calling test1 method from main method and test2 method, and we are printing the value of I. So what is going to happen actually? First it will go to test1 method and it will print 2. After that it will go to test2 method and it will print 4. Again it will be returning back to this statement only, and it will be printing 3, and again after completing the 3 lines it will be going to this line, and it will be calling test2 method again once again, and it will be printing 4. After that lastly 1 will be printing. So let's check it out. First is 2, then test2 will be called, that is 4, then system.out.println 3, number 3. Again it will be going to test1 method and calling test2 method. So test2 method will be printing 4, and after that lastly the value of I, that is 1, will be printing. Now we are moving to the next program, that is the E class, and here also it's very similar to the previous one, but we have defined integer return type here, and for this we are returning 0 from the test method itself, and we are declaring one I, that is a local variable, to main method, and it's getting the value of test. So the value which is returning from test method, that is 0, is getting initialized by I, and I will be printing the value of test, returning value, that is 0, and after that done will be printing. So you can see that test method is calling from test is printing, then again 0 is printing, that is the value of I, and done is getting printed. Now moving to the next program, that is f.java. Here this is also similar to the previous program. Here instead of int we have defined double, so the return type will be double, so returning will be 100.376. So in the main method, double d1, that is a d1 variable, the type is double, is getting initialized by the return type of the test method, that is 100.376, and is getting printed d1, that is 100.376, and it will be printing test method return, that is 100.376. So it's calling test method from system.out.println parenthesis. So from here it will again print from test and it will be returning 100.376. so in this line it will catch 100.376, so 100.376 will be printed. After that the test method again will be called and from test will be printed. So you can check it out what's happening. So from test again 100.376, that is test method is getting called and from test is printing. Now d1 is getting the value of 100.376, so 100.376 is getting printed. Then again test method is calling, so from test will be getting printed and 100.376 is catching, so 100.376 will be printed. And after that lastly test method again is called and from test will be printed. Very easy. Now we are moving to the g.java class. This is an important class, so have a look at this class. We have defined one static method and the return type is void here. So here you can see that system.out.println from test, so test will be getting printed from test method itself, and we are printing test method. We're trying to print test, we are calling test method from system.out.println parenthesis, but the thing here is the return type is void. As you can see, the return type of test is void. So void is return type, so it's not returning anything, but system.out.println method have to catch a value or any string or any integer number, anything, but it's not getting any value. So it's like just scrubbing his head and did not know what to do, so it's getting compile time error. So very easy. Now we are moving to the h.java. Here also the same thing is happening. Now as you can see, we have declared one local variable I into the test method and it's also void. So integer I equals to 10, that's very good, no problem whatsoever. But the thing is, here we are calling test method is also compile success, but the thing here system.out.println I is not getting the value of I, as I is local to only test method and it's not a global variable. So you will be knowing more about local and global later. So you can see that I is a local variable to test method, so it's not getting the value of I from the main method, and it don't know the value I, and it does not know who is I and what is purpose. So as because of that it's not success able to success to compile, so it's getting error. So this is the problem. Now we are moving to the next program, that is a test method. Now you can see that the value of I is getting initialized by 10 and is getting post incremented. Sorry, it's getting post incremented. Now firstly I have to comment this line. Why? Because I will be telling you later in this tutorial itself, don't worry. So I equals to 10 here and the return type is int only, and I is getting post incremented. You will be knowing all the thing about post increment and pre increment in my previous tutorial. So as you can see that here I is getting post incremented and integer I equals to test, that is the second line of the main method. So test method is getting called by this line, and as it is returning the post increment, so I will be 10 only in this line. So if we trying to print the value of I, then I will be only 10, as you can see I will be only 10. Now if I enable this thing, what is going to happen? Have a look. It's not changing the value, it's still printing 10. Why? Because that test is getting called from this line and integer I equals to 10 I plus plus. So here itself, if we are able to catch this line from a variable, then the value of that variable will be 10 itself. And again, if we call this variable, again we are not catching, in the first line we are not catching the value of test, written value of test, so it's not affecting the program. Here itself we are calling again test method, and I is local to the test method. Now if I declare this I as a global variable and if I return I plus plus, then it will be affecting, the total increment will be 2. But here we are incrementing I plus plus and I is getting initialized by 10 itself. It is local, so return I plus plus and I will be getting 0, so the I value will be only 10 here also. Lastly, in the J class we have seen that in test method I have defined one test method, that is a static, and the return type is int. So here I is getting initialized by 0 and same thing is happening here, but it is pre-incrementing. So here also in the main method I have defined one local variable I equals to 0. Now I is getting I plus 10, that equals to 0 plus 10 equals to 10, simple. And I is calling test method here, so I will be calling test method and it will be getting pre-incremented and it will be printing the I. So what is going to print? The print will be 1 only, as because it's not affecting the second line, because I is getting again initialized in the test method, that is it is called like dynamic initialization or runtime initialization. So it can be, you can, if we change this again to suppose 10, then in this line the value will be 10, not the 1. That is called, it's changing line by line and it's calling dynamic initialization. So if we comment this line and if we trying to print the I value, then the value of I will be only 1, not a 10. So that's all for this tutorial. Thanks for watching and have a good day.